Welcome to And Then There Were Three. I'm Anna.
I'm Kaley.
And I'm Katie.
Guys, Katie is back with me in the studio. So happy to have you here.
I'm back all summer long.
And she loves it
so much. I love the weather here. I love
the
that
wind.
It's interfering with all the things that I have to do this summer, rescheduling everything. I just shout out Nebraska. Shout out Nebraska weather, first of all.
You never know if it's going to rain.
Yeah. The forecast changes every hour.
Yep.
Is it going to rain tonight? I don't know. Am I going to have to work tonight? I don't know. We'll see.
We don't know.
Is it going to tornado?
I don't
Probably.
know. Or is it going to snow tomorrow? We'll see.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe, honestly.
So I was texting Pat recently, and like, if one day all of me and Pat's text messages get released to the world, I don't know what would happen. But
very scary.
I texted him, or no, he texted me actually the story, which I happen to have done a TikTok on. So Bo Jackson, the famous Hall of Famer, baseball, football legend, whatever. You guys don't care about that. But this is the part you care about. He's been hiccuping for a year straight.
What?
Yeah, so he's like, has this condition.
Dude,
and
that would be the worst thing
Yeah, they don't know like what happened, but like.
Did you know about this? I hadn't heard about it until I saw that he stopped hiccuping.
So yeah, he got.
Did you call him a slut?
He got
Pat?
surgery. Yeah, no, that's exactly why he texted me, and Pat was like, "Well, has he tried my treatment?"
Yeah,
because there was an article about what Bo Jackson did, and he smelled the butt of a porcupine to try to get the hiccups to go away, but it didn't work. So he got surgery a couple weeks ago.
That's weird that it didn't work.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like a common like legend that people try or something like that.
I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. That would suck.
So naturally, Pat has like a connection to every celebrity ever somehow. And so I brought up the name Bo Jackson, and then Pat was like, "Oh yeah, I was a bat boy for the Omaha Royals, one of the teams he played for in the minor leagues." And Bo Jackson like basically told you to F off one time, Pat.
He did.
What?
Yeah. So when I worked.
To interrupt real quick, who's Bo Jackson?
So if you listen to what I said before, he's like a famous baseball player, Hall of Famer, played football. And
he played Major League
football and baseball. He's like,
I was like, you just said baseball. Why is he in football?
So he does both. He's like one of the only athletes to be in both the baseball and football Hall of Fame. But anyways, yeah, he told Pat to F off. Like, super famous guy, like one of the most famous athletes ever.
For sure. Yeah, and I was the bat boy for the Omaha Royals from when I was 13 to like 16, whatever. And I was that was in my wheelhouse when I was overweight, like really overweight at that time. And so I was, and when you're the bat boy for the Omaha Royals, every year the Kansas City Royals would come to town and they would play like an exhibition game. So I was in the Kansas City Royals dugout as their bat boy for that game. And it was just me. And like I'd taken care of all my stuff and whatever. They had taken BP already, and we were just sitting in the dugout. And it was Bo Jackson and me in there. And I'm like, this is my chance. I'm gonna just ask him for an autograph because it was at the time there was a very famous Sports Illustrated cover of like him in his Royals uniform running one way and his Raiders uniform running the other, like a split screen. It's really cool. And that was the month or week or whatever that it came out. So I had it. And I just walked in, like he was literally doing nothing. He was sitting there breathing. That's all he was doing.
Like the most famous athlete in the world at the time.
Right, doing nothing. And I just picked up his bats, right? And so I'm like, Mr. Jackson, can I have an autograph? And he looked me like in the eye and he goes, "Can't you see I'm fucking busy, son?" And he ran out of the dugout.
Oh.
And here I am, like fat little kid, like sad because my hero just told me to shut the fuck up, basically.
My God.
Not a fan.
The best part of the next message Pat sent, which I realized I didn't reply to, like 4 days later, he replied to that and goes, "My grandma used to pray for me not to be fat anymore."
She did.
Can you explain that?
Well, when I would walk to the bus, she'd watch me walk to the bus, and she would pray that Jesus would help me not be fat.
Oh my God.
So messed up. That is so messed up. Did it work?
It did. I mean, I lost 70 pounds. I just grew because I was only like 5'2". Like I was basically an inch short of being a circle. So yeah, I just grew a little bit. But
imagine finding out that your grandma was praying for you to not be fat.
I know that was a
really sad.
You're like, okay.
How do you recover from that one?
You don't.
Like your grandma's supposed to be the one that hypes you up, not the other way around.
Please, Pat, don't be fat anymore. She would be so proud of you now. You're such a skinny king.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to prove to her that you're skinny now?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Is she still alive?
She's not. She passed away when I was skinny. So
Okay, good.
Thank God. That was her dying wish.
I got the last laugh.
I did.
I got the last laugh.
Take that, Edith.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we haven't talked to each other since Katie's birthday bash back on Cinco de Mayo. aka
We have
Cinco
talked
de-
to each other since.
Well, we haven't talked on the podcast. But
Yes,
oh yeah, I guess
yeah.
we did talk on the podcast.
I was like, what? We talk every
Never mind.
single day.
We've never communicated.
We haven't
since.
communicated
I'm
since.
like- We haven't communicated in like 24
Minutes.
days. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so we did have Zoe on, but we didn't even get time to dive into Katie's birthday because it's just too much. Too much happened.
Too much happened.
But I thought we would start with seeing David Spade
Yeah.
because that kind of defined the trip in ways.
Yeah, I feel like it did. So 9 of the girls in our group, well, 7 of them flew in and 2 of them drove from California. So we had like our squad out.
Yeah.
Like we have not had this many people out together in a very long time. I had a whole itinerary planned to the
She had a
literal
PDF.
minute, a PDF, a mood boards, everything, links to menus, stuff like that. But that's just how I roll. I mean, people need to know what they're about to get themselves into.
Yeah.
And so first night started off with dinner. That's the very first thing on the itinerary. And so we walk into this restaurant. It's called Kala. It's in Scottsdale. And we're getting drinks at the bar. And someone's like, holy shit, like David Spade is right there. And honestly, we only really fangirl over David. Not that we were fangirling, but like we only
It's
really
just a
cared
joke.
that he was there because of the movie The Wrong Missy. If you guys have ever seen that movie. If you
That we are
haven't-
literally obsessed
obsessed
with.
with.
I've probably
It's like a
seen that
running
movie
joke.
20 times.
Yeah.
Like it's an inside joke within our entire friend group.
That like
that
we
movie.
love The Wrong Missy.
But it's probably the most or the least famous David Spade
Yes,
movie out there.
for
Like,
sure.
He's very famous and not for The Wrong Missy.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
is
like
not known for The Wrong Missy.
Imagine if we went up to him and we're like,
Are you that guy
whatever.
from The Wrong Missy?
I don't even know what his name is in The Wrong Missy.
I don't even
Fuck.
know what his name is.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Oh my god, you would love it, Pat.
Pat, you would piss your pants at this movie.
Really?
You would love it.
Yes.
I gotta watch it.
And so there's probably like 15 of us girls, and we get sat at this table right next to him. So we're at this really long table, and he's sitting in like this booth or whatever, and he's kind of looking at us. And right when we get sat down, these guys had bought us champagne, and then people were coming out with sparklers and shit because it was my birthday, and all the girls are like screaming, like
we're like, woo!
we're like trying
wooing.
to, we're like trying to get his attention. We're like, David Spade has
He was
never
staring
been
at us,
yeah, he
though.
was, literally. But we're like, David Spade has never been so hot. Like he's not hot at all. But we were like, why are we trying to get David Spade's attention?
In that moment,
right now?
we wanted David
Yeah,
Spade.
I've never wanted David Spade's attention more in my life. And he was like looking at us and stuff. But my sister like took a B-reel, and he is in the background. This man is so short. He is sitting in a booth, sitting on his knees. Like, I don't know how to
To be
describe
at the
it.
knees
same
are
height as everyone that else
The
that
knees
he's
are
with.
bent, and he's sitting basically on his feet. His butt is like on top of his feet.
That was
Yes.
such a creepy picture.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll post
we'll
it.
post
We'll
it.
post it for sure.
And so, yeah, that was the start of that night. But it was just
And
like,
anyways, someone like he was walking by us. We thought he left, and we were really upset because we're like, shit. None of us like grabbed his attention.
yeah.
And he walked by our table, and someone's like, David, 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 and he heard it, which I was really surprised. Turns around, sticks his tongue out, and it's like, "Bleh," and then just keeps walking.
I did not know that.
He did that?
You didn't know that?
I wasn't facing him. My back was to him. And I actually have another story about that, and maybe why he did
Yeah,
that.
Erica was like, David, David, and he just goes, "Bleh."
Wait, I didn't know that.
What?
Okay,
we were like, all right, looks like we won't be
You're like,
talking
"I'm
to David
scared
Spade."
of
He
you.
just stuck
So
his
he
tongue
was-
out at us.
He was like really lingering behind us. Do you remember when he walked past us and my
Yeah.
back was to him? And so I had my phone and I actually was looking up David Spade
Stop.
arrest. And he was legit right behind me. Like my phone was right here, and I was like, I wonder if this dude's ever gotten in hot water. Like I didn't know the T on him, and so I looked up David.
Why are you thinking about
I don't
that?
know why I was thinking of that. I have no idea why that
It's a
came to
random
mind.
thing to think of.
I don't
when you
know,
see
If I
David
saw a
Spade.
famous
David Spade
person,
arrested.
I wouldn't, if I saw a famous person, I would
Yeah.
not immediately think about them getting arrested.
I don't know, but I looked
And
that up.
were
And
you in that time? What were you going to do with that information at that moment?
probably tell everyone at the table why he got arrested.
Pull up his mugshot in
I
front of
don't.
him?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I think he was like really very close to me, and so he might have seen that and been like, "Wow, these girls are really weird." But also, there was another girl there with the bride sash on.
Yeah, there was a crazy bride.
I like.
Oh,
I
fuck,
can't
I forgot about that.
explain the Sunday scaries this girl would have.
yeah,
if-
she had anxiety.
So David Spade's sitting at a booth, and there's a girl, the full-on stereotypical bride sash. She's super drunk, but the mistake of the night for her, she sat at David Spade's table, like wasn't invited over there, like just kind of like went over there and started talking to him, and I can't imagine the words that were coming out of her mouth.
What was she even said?
Wait, I didn't know this part.
Yeah, she was sitting over there for well, I thought she was with their party at first, and then she got up.
Spade's just with a bride.
And I was like, that girl was not with them. And she came over to our group and looked at one of our friends and goes, oh my God, you look like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
You're beautiful. Full disclosure, she does not look like she has brown hair.
No.
Like, she does not look like Sydney Sweeney.
No.
And I don't know what she was seeing that night, but very nice compliment regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine waking up and being told that you sat at David Spade's booth and were talking to him.
And like he told you probably to like fuck off.
To-be bride sash.
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
I hope that's never me.
If that happened to me, first of all, I would hope nobody would let me do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, where are her friends keeping her from doing that?
Her friends were there.
They were there, but they weren't really like directing her.
They weren't taking control.
They were like, whatever. But the funny thing is, I feel like we never see famous people at all like that. But of course, when we're with all of our friends, we're at this dinner, everyone's like, wow, Scottsdale is like this famous place, you know? Like we're
like
seeing famous people.
One of our friends thought that Katie set this up for her birthday because she loves the movie The Wrong Missy.
What? No, I wish. I don't have David Spade on speed dial.
Didn't someone think that?
Yeah, no, I remember that now. But if you've seen The Wrong Missy, this is how some of us wanted to get his attention. Just look at him and say, Hellstar.
You need to watch the movie if you haven't seen it, by the way.
Pat, go home and watch the movie right now.
I will watch
it. Would love this movie. And okay, so another funny part is that once we saw David Spade, everywhere we were going, we were convinced that there would be more celebrities there.
And then that night we were at like a booth or whatever at the Bevy, and we were with the singer, but I wouldn't he's not an A-list celebrity like David Spade.
Shout out Skis though.
Skis.
Represent Nebraska. But we were at R&R, this brunch place, and I was like, I swear to God, Michael B. Jordan's here.
It was not him.
It wasn't him. He took off his sunglasses. He was just a regular looking dude. But I mean, to be confused for Michael B. Jordan's a pretty big compliment.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day, everyone was making fun of me and being like, oh my God. What were they saying? Oh, Andrew Tate's in the booth next to us. So just a bald guy with sunglasses on.
Just like literally like, no,
I was
it's
like,
not
screw
him.
you guys.
So that was that night. And then Saturday we had a boat plan. So we had a party bus taking us to a lake with 2 boats. And that was the main event of the weekend. And everyone wore their cowboy hats and everything. It was a whole theme. Mm-hmm. Anna literally bought a white cowboy hat and put I love Katie's boobs on it. So that was her hat.
Such a good friend.
Yeah, such a good friend.
So supportive.
I don't even know. Like, Anna didn't even ask me. She was just kind of like, oh, by the way, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, how'd you even think of that on your own?
Well,
and like, no one asked her to do that.
No. At first, I knew I wanted to do something different because I didn't want to.
I didn't want to blend in.
That's for sure different.
Well, don't worry, Anna did not blend in at all that day.
No. I was literally at your birthday to perform. Yeah. First of all,
Anna went against the social norm.
I'm always against the social norm, and so at first I was texting Kaley and I was like, I was really close to buying a lifeguard outfit and then showing up in like a whistle with like sprayers and stuff. But I was like, that might be a little too much. And so I was like, I'll just write on the hat and just use that. And
don't worry, she made up for it.
People were coming up to me and asking if I customized it and like purchased it. But it was just Sharpie on a white hat. Yeah, they were like,
is it Etsy? You literally had our friend Alexa write it.
Okay, they thought I ordered it from Etsy. I'm like,
you have great handwriting, Alexa.
We just wrote on this 20 minutes ago, but yeah.
So for this boat, we had planned. So Facebook sometimes has the most out-of-pocket ads, like advertisements on your feed. And someone, like probably like a month prior to the trip,
it came up on my feed.
Your feed. And it was for a jean thong on Shein.
From Shein, so it's got to be ratchet.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're like, who would order that? Like who came up with a jean thong? And so we forgot to order it in time for Shein. And I was like, shit, like we gotta have this jean thong.
Yeah,
like we need it.
It's like a party favor.
Yeah. And there was a jean thong also on Amazon. So I ordered it. It was like $25. Like it was not cheap. But I was like, you know what? I have to have this. Like best $25 I've ever spent. So we had the jean thong and only all the girls knew that this surprise was going to happen. So
also keep in mind, we knew that if we purchased this jean thong and brought it, that you can always get Anna drunk enough to put a costume on, literally any article
especially
of clothing.
for my birthday.
Yeah.
Anna's been in many costumes for my birthday.
I was in a cheerleader costume back on the 20th birthday.
Yeah. Okay, so then, and all the girls made this ginormous flag. So the morning,
it was seriously a 5-foot flag.
it was so big that my mom printed off. It has all of our pictures on it, like embarrassing photos of all of us, this huge ass flag. And it was a whole debacle in the morning. We were trying to find a flagpole literally everywhere. We were at where? Home Depot?
Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware.
We got into a fight at Ace
literally
Hardware.
got into a fight at Ace Hardware. Then Anna comes out with like a huge pole. And so we're
not the only pole for the day.
Yeah, not the only pole for the day. And so we're going on the party bus. Also, that day, every bathroom was broken. Like, the world just did not want us to go pee anywhere besides the water.
Yeah.
So we had a 2-hour-long party bus ride. Everyone's drinking, and there's not a single bathroom.
Yeah.
Nope.
And we're in the middle of nowhere.
There's nowhere to stop.
There's no stopping or anything.
No stopping.
So we get there, and the first boat we have had before on a different trip, but the second boat had a stripper pole.
And I booked it, but I didn't even look.
I didn't know there was a stripper pole.
I didn't know there was a stripper pole either, and I literally put it on.
But thank God there was.
Yeah, thank God there was. Literally, when I saw the stripper pole, I was like, some shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, and reminder, we have the jean thong with us.
Jean thong is en route.
Jean thong is en route. Like, I have it packed in my bag, and I'm preparing to basically perform. I didn't know what I was gonna do because I didn't know there was a stripper pole or anything. Like, I had no idea how I was gonna perform, but it like was going to happen. And so,
what if the pole wasn't there? What would you have done?
I would have probably just had to dance. It wouldn't have been as climatic as the stripper pole. So
okay, and also we had put the giant flag on the boat.
Yeah, there was a 5-foot flag that said Katie on it, Camp Katie on
Camp
it,
Katie,
with a bunch of horrible pictures of everybody.
Yeah, like it was so bad.
It was so insane.
Like 2 hours passed by with the boat. Like everyone's like, we've honestly been pre-gaming for like 6 hours at this point. Like
I was like feeling the temperature of the surroundings and of the people to know when to bring the jean thong out. Like Katie asked me about it, and I was like, no, it's not time yet.
It's not jean
and
time.
And then, a few more twisted tees down, and I was like, okay, I think it's time for the jean thong. And like, I love boats, and this might have been one of my happiest moments in my life, honestly.
I will tell my kids about this someday.
Like the birth of my first child, my wedding, and then the jean thong day. So me and Brooke, I'm like, Brooke, it's time. We got to bring the jean thong out.
I honestly forgot about it.
Yeah, like I took everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
And so everyone's doing their thing, whatever. Me and Brooke run off to the other side of the boat, on the other boat actually. And Brooke like hides me in a corner, and I put the jean thong like over my swimsuit. And like, if you don't know what this looks like, just look up a picture of it. But it's basically like very shortcut Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, it's like literally a thong.
Like the shortest Daisy Dukes. It looks like a swimsuit bottom, but like they just cut the jeans like that.
Yeah, and it's like
you
ribbed
just took
on the bottom.
scissors to the jeans. So it's hilarious.
It's like acid wash.
Yeah,
too.
it's like acid wash, like country jeans. It's hilarious. And so I put them on, and I run over.
Like literally running out. Like we're like all sitting around the pool waiting for like the performer to come out, and Anna just like runs out, and everyone's like, you're like, woo! And I was like, oh my God, this is about to happen.
Yeah. And that day I just had like super strength. Like I climbed to the top of the pole.
She
like
fully
a squirrel.
ran towards the group of people that were sitting in front of the pool, like grabbed it by the hands and just like swung her body around. Like that was her opening act.
It was amazing. Yeah. And like there was one point where I was upside down. I was going.
There were a lot of points where you were upside down.
She was literally up this like 15 like
it was probably 10 feet tall.
That picture is super dramatic. Like it's like
so
you're at the
dramatic.
top, and it's like the end of a Broadway show.
It really is.
It really is.
And it's funny because normally stripper poles like have a top, because
like
you can
ceiling,
never get to the ceiling. So she was but there was no ceiling because we were on a boat.
I was literally on top of the stripper pole like a squirrel. Like
if it was like a 30-foot pole, would you have been climbed all the way to the top?
I still to this day have no idea how you climbed up top there, because anyone else that tried to get on this pole slipped and like ate absolute shit. So
Anna literally performed for like 20 minutes. I thought that I was gonna die.
It was like an hour, honestly. I was on there for a while.
I thought I was
Katie was seizing in the background.
I was laying on the ground like I was crying.
She was laughing so hard. I've never seen Katie or Kaley laugh that hard. Like they were like you all have heard Katie's laugh. Like it was literally like cracking. Her voice was like gone, and she was like
It was
seizing on
so
the floor
funny.
like a fish, like that
It
jumped
was
onto the boat.
so fun. And,
You
like,
know it's funny when I can't even get like a laugh
Yeah,
out.
I
Like I was
couldn't
probably
even
just like,
yeah, that's what I was doing. And in the background is the flag. Like it was just
yeah.
picture
And I also
perfect.
feel like it was
picture
so
ever.
funny because Katie and I both forgot about it, and I swear I just like
Yes.
looked over and I'm like, what is happening right now?
And we were also on the boat with a lot of people that weren't like our closest friends. Like a lot
I
of my
didn't know,
sisters,
like, the
a lot of
majority.
my sister's friends were there. Like, what was everyone else thinking that is not that close with you? And all of a sudden, this girl just whips out a jean thong and is upside down on this 10-foot tall pole. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not shocking.
I don't
to
know
me.
how the pole didn't break.
And that picture, you're just like yelling. Your mouth is wide open.
I'm just, like,
and you're
There was
yelling.
like different categories of people's reactions. Like there's me and Katie absolutely crying, laughing. There's people confused, like, what is even this girl's name? What's happening?
Yeah.
And then there was people like
Like-
amazed.
And then there's people that were concerned. Like,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
the next
No one
morning,
thought it was as funny as Katie and I.
Yeah, no.
people I think were just confused.
But then everyone else was like trying to get on the pole, and our friend Jack like literally tried to do like this pole dance thing that Anna was doing. He pulled his body up. He was probably like 3 feet up in the air and just slips and falls completely on his back. And it was so loud. I thought that he literally died
Like,
because
cracked his
it was
head
like a
open.
huge boom. And all of a sudden he's just laying there. At the end of the boat, everyone was falling all over the place. It was so funny.
It was amazing. I will say the next day I had a lot of battle scars. My feet were about 3 times the size because I was like swinging around the pole, and it's like a metal pole. So like it was really hot and like it would burn my feet. But I remember when I was like going, I was like, this pain is worth it.
Stop.
Well, guys, that's what you get when you go on vacation with us, especially to celebrate Katie's birthday. Things
Yeah.
just really get out of hand. But are we going to do it again? Yes.
Of course.
Like, how old do we have to be to stop?
I was just talking to Anna about this.
What's
like,
the age limit?
I think
Are
like
we gonna do this for the-
35.
35?
That's super young. No, not 35.
That's too young.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Yeah, why do
like,
we need
I
to
wouldn't
stop?
take maybe climb a pole like a 25.
it just makes me
Yeah.
think that like,
Literally someone
why
on the
stop?
boat was 32.
True.
true. It's just weird to think that like our parents at 35 were not doing that.
I don't think that our parents were ever doing that, to be honest, to the extent
No.
that we do things.
Yeah.
I don't know where your parents grew up, but my parents grew
Yeah,
up
my
in
parents-
the Crab Orchard, Nebraska.
Yeah,
so.
small town, Nebraska or Iowa. So probably didn't have access to David Spade at Kala there.
Or a jean thong.
Or a jean thong.
Or a jean thong
boat at Lake
express ship from
Pleasant.
Amazon.
Or also the bottomless mimosas at R&R. It's all of
Yeah.
those things combined together, and also landing on Cinco de Mayo is what makes it.
Yeah, bad mixture, but can't
Great
wait for next
mixture.
year. I mean, same place, same time. Like,
Yeah, like
We have
do
to
we?
do it
How do
again.
we? How do we beat
How do we
that?
top
I don't
that?
know if we can top this year.
How
honestly.
do we top that?
And I don't know how I can perform better. Like, I'm gonna really have to step my game up for next
do we
year.
just start now training and preparing for something? Like we have to, like there needs to be acrobats, and like we need to be the acrobats or something
Yeah.
like that. You
And
know?
you need to get a coach, like a dance
Well,
coach.
we could
Yeah.
hire. We could hire
Yeah, we
actual
could hire.
strippers.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Drop ideas.
We
Let us
should,
know
like-
what you want to see
We
for
should
next
pretend
year.
somebody's friend is coming, but it's actually a real life stripper.
Yes.
Like a.
we should
a guy
hire.
that
I wonder how much
performs in
David
Vegas.
Spade would charge to strip on a pole in front of us.
Probably so much money.
I don't think he
But
would.
my
do
birthday
that.
does land on a Sunday
Oh God. That's
next year, so that's
scary.
really
So
dangerous.
we'll have to be going out on a Sunday.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining. We love you, and talk to you next time.